All right, welcome everybody to World 1-1 Plays. I am Larry the Bearded Wonder, and tonight we are sinking into my favorite game of all time ever, AM2R, the spectacular unofficial remake of Metroid 2: Return of Samus for the original Game Boy. This game did receive the official remake treatment about a year or so later with Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS. But I honestly, I think AM2R delivered on the execution better. It's got all the perfect feels for me. Both Milton and Steve, friends of the show, have been on the podcast with us a couple times. Milton, who headed up this passion project for about a decade, actually, before bringing it to completion, is now these days actually working, toiling away on the upcoming Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which I am super pumped for. So there's something to look forward to. But let's dig in. Prior to this releasing a couple years ago, strange as it is, long-standing my favorite game had been the original Metroid 2: Return of Samus on Game Boy, for some oddball, peculiar reasons. And I thought it'd be fun to kind of run through this and roll some commentary, as to where I think AM2R excels and exceeds over the original, as well as maybe a couple things that I think the original still maybe stands a little taller on, personally. So let's dive in and let's get some settings set here. We need to wipe some data out, and we got to get some new options set. Normal. We'll set the controller settings when we get in. Screw it. Metroids, numerous incidents in the past have brought to light the highly destructive power of these life forms, spreading fear across all known planetary realms. Hoping to secure peace in the galaxy, the Galactic Federation orders the extermination of the Metroid species. I was the best candidate for the job. Once again, I find myself standing alone against the Metroid menace. What horrors await me within the depths of their home world? The pixel art in this is just spectacularly on point. Everything about it is so good. Alright, so let's tweak some controller settings real quick. I know this is probably the least interesting part of anything, but it's a little necessitated. Aiming style, yes. Toggle. Yeah, toggle. Classic morph ball enabled. Spider ball activation toggle classic. Hold. Press aim. You know what? That's going to drive me nuts. So we're going to go with classic. Oh, no. We're going toggle. I forgot about that. Auto climb good. Auto morph good. Joypad settings. Vibration, yes. Dead zone, we don't need to screw with. Analog walking. Jump on the B button. Fire on the A. Aim up. Aim down. Aim lock, morph, weapon select, weapon cancel, start menu, Perfect, spot on. We should be good then. Alright, so we've got everything tweaked about the same way that I run everything on Super Metroid. Yeah, you're bored. Fuck off. I love you, Kathy. So let's jump in here. So we've landed on planet SR-388, the homeworld of the Metroids. This is where they're all. This is where they all sourced from. Um, my music has stopped. This is peculiar. Where did my music go? Sound options. That's better. That was weird. All right, give me my music back because the music in this is actually really good. All right. So opening here is gonna give you a chance to kind of get your bearings, get a handle on the controls, which is not terribly difficult. Obviously, they're all customizable, thankfully. So we've got just some basic little crawly folks in our way here. Gives you a chance to get a feel for blasting your way through. Unlike most Metroid games, you have your Morph Ball from the get-go, as well as a stock of missiles. That is actually not super typical. We're going to hit the save point here real quick. Not that it matters, but it's here. Now, I know better, but anybody that isn't real big on the series is probably not going to. So we're going to go this way for a minute just to kind of demonstrate a point. You agree? Music good? All right. So we headed off to the right, and we hit a dead end here, hitting the lava. So this is a very non-linear game. This is actually probably one of the most linear games in the series, at least originally. The AM2R kind of broke that up a little bit, thankfully. But the go right option is not necessarily always the correct option. So we're gonna head back to the left here and pedal along and see what we find. Oh, I landed on one. The dripping water is a lovely touch. It's all the little things that go into this, and it's not just background too. Let me see if I can get it to do it again. Come on, it'll probably. Come on, cycle through again. That's a drippy spot. See, the water dripping isn't even just in the background. It'll actually like drip and bounce off her helmet, which is a beautiful little touch. Robo Bullfrog. We don't need you. Alright, so the little purple things that he just dropped there, that's health recharge. The little ones give you 5 health. The big ones give you 10, I believe. That's kind of changed from game to game in the series, honestly. Alright, let's refill our missiles. Now this is something that they changed from the original, is the save points in the original literally just saved your game. If you wanted to recharge your health or your missiles, you had to find recharge points for those. Here though, it will save your game and recharge everything. So we've got lava down there, lava bad, lava hurts. So here we have the shell of a Metroid larva, which in the series up till this point is the only version of the Metroid we've seen. Let's take a peek here. Yeah, these little fuckers, Kathy. So what we have here is the Alpha Metroid. It is the first metamorphosis in the life cycle of the Metroids beyond the larval stage. So you'll notice that he does not latch on the way that Metroids have always been one to do in the series, and start draining your health. He just kind of rams you and attacks. So we got the screen rumblies here, and you can see the lava going down as the planet shakes. Nice little touch. They even programmed in rumble into the controller for the lava quakes. That tickled me pink to no end the first time that I came across that. So now that the lava's gone down, we can progress deeper into the planet. Really up until the official remake, Samus Returns on the 3DS, there wasn't really an explanation for why the earthquakes and the lava after you killed X amount of Metroids, and again, the explanation given in Samus Returns really kind of only applies to Samus Returns. And it was because Samus Returns didn't use lava to block the hallways, they used acid. And so they were acid blocks to keep the Metroids in place underneath the surface of the planet. And you could only move the acid down by feeding Metroid DNA into the locks, but that's not the case here, and it wasn't the case in the original, so it's always just kind of been one of the mysteries. You can see there's a little counter in the upper right-hand corner that tells you how many Metroids you have to wipe out in an area before the lava will drop so that you can progress down. Hey there, Twizzard Doodle. Yes, definitely doing great things. Hands down, favorite game of all time. If you just jumped on and you didn't catch it earlier, Milton and Steve, two of the amazing minds behind this. Milton, who spearheaded this whole thing, has actually guested on our weekly podcast a couple times. Milton these days is working on Ori and the Will of the Wisps for Moon Studios for Xbox One. Hopefully next week we might be getting a release date finally, because God, wouldn't that be something fantastic. But no, a pair of great guys. You couldn't ask for nicer people, truth be told. As I'm sitting here not paying attention, I'm just chatting with people now. But yeah, so these little bastards hit like stupidly hard in the original. They don't hit quite as hard here, but later on you'll find out though that they are a little more capable in AM2R than they were in the original. Alright, so we've got a scan of the new area, and it now tells us that we've got 4 Metroids to wipe out in this area before we can move the lava down again. So let's get plugging along. I love these little things that hop up and down in the original. When I was a child, all I could think is that they were like little vampire pancakes. That's what they looked like to me. I will never lose that thought, ever. They will forever be vampire pancakes to me. I always thought it was weird the little flying insects had the same design as Samus's helmet. That seemed a little strange to me, but it still looked cool. They were also much harder to hit in the original because they were very thin. So I'm sitting here and finessing my way through. Oh, this was something you couldn't do in the original NES game. This was brand new to Metroid 2 on the Game Boy, was the ability to actually crouch. So in the original NES game, you couldn't hit the low-hanging fruit, so to speak. You had to wait for them to crawl up a wall to get to somewhere you could actually hit them. That got rectified with the Game Boy release of Metroid 2 Return of Samus. Alright, so we got 2 directions to go. We can go up, we can go down. I know what's where, so I'm voting we're going to go up. It would probably help if I press the button to make me grab a ledge. Stop it. Hush, I'm rusty. Vampire pancakes. All right, so this is something that's new to AM2R as well as the logbook entries. The original, you hush. In the original, all the areas generally kind of looked pretty much the same. Here, that is not the case. They all have a lot more personality and a lot more flavor to them, and definitely more visual distinction. So here we're inside of the Golden Temple, and the logbook and the lore gives a lot more history to the areas. One of the things I absolutely adore about AM2R is it really fleshes out the story and the lore of this particular entry in the series without disrupting anything else canonically. That takes a lot of skill, just in terms of thought and writing. Wall fires! Alright. And before anybody asks, no, I didn't make that. That's actually what they are called. They are called wall fires. You can look it up in the original instruction manual for the Game Boy. True story. Alright, so Chozo's statue here is holding our very first power-up, the bombs. So now that we got the bombs, we can drop into our little morph ball here and start laying explosives and find holes in the floor and other things. You know, I think it's weird, but I'm pretty sure that the cough drop is actually making my throat a little more scratchy as I'm trying to sit here and talk and narrate at the same time. Alright, so they made this one super obvious. In most cases, they will not be, but a little place to bomb out there. I noticed it. I thought about it a second ago as I was talking, and it was just kind of catching in my throat. Yes, I know it's random. Hush. Alright, so now that we got bombs, we can go places. Like in here. So you can see the busted brick there, letting you know there's probably something back there. Some more busted bricks looking a little out of place. Alright, so we shoot the orb. No, don't go. I love having you around. You know this. So the little claw lamp thingy, that's new. Yeah, Twizzlerdoodle says to stick around too, or Twizzlerdoodle. So the I will tell you, the first time I played this, I was absolutely dumbstruck trying to figure out what was the deal with the gray block here. All right, so now we got ourselves an energy tank, and now we're a little bit beefier. I'm sorry about the buffering. Let's check some stream health here real quick. Stream health. Yeah. Says my stream's running fine, so it probably doesn't help anything that Twitch is just a painfully unstable platform, but we all use it anyways. Alright, so now I've got more health, I can afford to be a little bit more reckless than I normally am, which, you know, I probably would have done anyways, regardless. Regular Twizzler Doodle there, or do you have a specialty Twizzler that you prefer? Kathy, how do you not like Twizzlers? Oh, no, 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 no. Can't do that. The best Twizzlers are the stuffed Twizzlers, followed directly by the Twizzler full of peels. Hey now. Be nice. Play nice. I got good money. It says that's Adele. Twizzler Doodle feels like an Adele name. Alright, so our little secret there is make sure we just light up all three of those at the same time, and then it'll move the big gray brick out of the way so we can go get goodies. Yay, goodies! I said Adele. The banter sounds kind of like Adele as well in text form. But I could very well be mistaken because I don't have confirmation of Adele's Twitch handle. I'm just kind of, you know, taking a shot in the dark there, making an educated guess. Oh, so there was a gray block that in order to move, there were 3 claws. You had to light up all 3 orbs that the claws were holding at the same time before they all dimmed out. Yeah, let's go this way. I'm not done screwing around in here. Nah, I'll be fine. Lots of health. Down, down, down we go. Secret entrance. No, I've got it on normal. So, this little gray thing here, this is brand new. The first time I played AM2R when it came out, give me just a second here. There we go. So the first time I played it when it came out, I had no idea what the hell this was. I seriously spent like 5 minutes fucking around with it, trying to figure out what it was and how to get it to do something. Kind of assuming that it related to this door, which it does. It's just you won't get an answer or an explanation of what it is and how the fuck it works until considerably later into the game. I'll go any way I damn well please. It probably is. Alright, so no holes in the floor there. You know, I'm feeling like I don't like this control layout. We're going to tweak this just a titch. Joypad settings. That's better. No, we just assumed your identity. Totally different. Alright, so here's something else too that was not in the original. The charge beam actually did not come up. No? Hang on. Yeah, no, the charge beam did not come about until Super Metroid. So that's something that's been injected here that was not in the original. There we go. Maybe there was an exit in there. I'm not going to screw with that missile tank until later, until we have that thing. Okay, Static Shock was a great cartoon. Why hasn't that come back yet? Bring back everything else, damn it. Bring me back Static Shock. Static Shock was a DC cartoon. Didn't run real long. There is also, if you watch some Justice League, the animated series, there was a episode where they actually went back or they went forward in time, and they actually ran into an older version of Static Shock that was actually really good. I was like, yay! Somebody didn't forget about Static Shock. Not the garbage movie. The cartoon series that was on Cartoon Network was actually really good. Alright, so. Yes, it was. Wally West and Martian Manhunter were amazing. So, this right here is one of my favorite power-ups of all time, and it is a goddamn tragedy that none of the other 2D Metroid games really executed on this power-up at all. And even in the Metroid Prime series, it was very limited by comparison to what it does here. I give you the Spider Ball. So, Spider Ball is going to let us stick to everything. Now, this is one of my weird nitpicks with AM2R, but the Spider Ball here versus the Spider Ball in the original, I mean, it technically functions the same, but the visual aesthetic is considerably different. So in the original, when you activated the Spider Ball, it looked like it covered your Morph Ball in like a coat of slime that would make it stick to everything. Here it goes for more of the Metroid Prime aesthetic with the transparent green on the side of the the Morph Ball. I always liked that organic look a little more. I thought it was a neater explanation. That it was like a membrane that, you know, created an adhesive that would let you stick to everything. Alright. So, down you go. Get up. Out of my... There we go. Stop it. That's better. Biggest trick with the alphas is just getting them stuck in a rut somewhere where you can just keep bouncing them until they die. And the only like hittable spot on them is that little green underbelly. Alright, so let's bomb our way up. And nope, hang on here. There we go. Oopsie daisy. Spider ball won't get you where you're going real fast, but it'll definitely get you everywhere. Now, originally hiding up here on the Game Boy version was actually recharge points, but they're not here because, well, the save points basically replaced them. Alright, let's take a peek here. Nope, there we go. I know where we're at. Alright, so let's head back to the hallway. Or back to the vertical shaft. That shaft. Now, these are a great place to farm for energy and missiles, by the way. In the original here, it's not quite as needed. But they will just keep spawning. Alright, all the way down. Hit that save point. Now let's head into the nest. Now the nest, we're gonna find a nest in almost every area or phase of the game. That's where the bulk of the Metroids typically are, is in the nest. It's kind of like their breeding and hunting grounds. And the hatched shells there are giveaways that you're about to come rolling up on one of those delightful Metroids. Yes, Adele. I'm still right here. Oh, we had a good bounce on that for a second. I'm here. We're gonna go in this way next. I'm actually gonna park down here in the vines, even though it drains my energy. It's just easier. because while it is a constant energy drain, it's not super fast, and it's simpler to just take the damage and call it a day. There we go. Plenty of health. And there's our Quake. So now we want to head back to the main tunnel, the main hallway, and we should have a new route that we can descend further into the planet. God, Polaroids were the best. Definitely shake it like a Polaroid. Polaroids were awesome. Now, one thing that the original did not have really was any real significant bosses. I mean, there were the Metroids that you were hunting down as you went along, but there wasn't really anything besides that. AM2R, very different in that respect. And this is the first place you're going to see a really major significant change, or rather addition to the game. Alright, let's do this. I don't remember the colors. Whatever. And dead. All right. So yeah, that little bastard right there is a brand new addition. All right, so now we got ourselves back to the main hall here, the main tunnel. Now all that lava that was here is gone, and we can descend. Metroid senses tingling. That tells me there's a hidden thing over here. Now, I do also remember, too, that there's two hidden things in this room, and the other one is not worth trying to get to until way later. I'm just not going to spend the time on it. It's doable, but it's a huge pain in the ass. Alright. Yay for lava jumps. All right, so we got 7 Metroids hanging out in this area. Yes, Adele, I see you. Surprise! 1 down, we're down to 6. Oh look, there's a shell that was going to tell you he was coming. So this area here is the Hydro Station. A big, heavy water theme in this area. You could actually pick up on some of that theme originally in the Game Boy, in the Game Boy version. Yeah, the Hydro Station music is just phenomenal. It is a beautiful remix. If you give me about 10 minutes of listening to it, it'll pop into my head which area and which game from the series it's a remix of. So you'll notice too here in the water, we're very sluggish and slow moving here. Also can't jump near as high. So right now the water is not a great place for us to be because we are definitely crippled. Yes, I see you crying, Adele. So there's another one of those things that we can't do anything with yet. Okay. It's late and I'm a little rusty, but my brain is telling me that the music is a remix of Lower Torvus Bog from Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, if you're watching this on your phone, I'm not gonna lie, the Twitch app is really not spectacular. Aw, look at him, he's so cute, just hanging there, his legs wiggling. But now we're gonna kill him. Come on up. There you go. Oh, he just booked it right out the room. And dead. Yeah, that's definitely Lower Torvus. And down we go. So these pipes here, the long pipes, were actually in the Game Boy original. This cool thing was not, though. I do love that bit. That's fucking awesome. All right, open up. There we go. So they kind of took those pipes and played off that theme and built this out as the Hydro Station for AM2R. Now, handy dandy trick, the bombs deal continual damage, whereas your power beam blasts do not. So if you can catch them in the bombs, you're going to do a shit ton more damage than just shooting them. lot of vertical movement in this section of the game. These little bastards hit hard. They're everywhere. Got some stronger wall fires over there. And the nice thing is those things will orient to whichever way you are from them when you enter the room, but they cannot change orientation once the room is open. So if you can get behind those little neck things, you'll be in good shape. Why do I keep getting hit on? Because my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Grab the goodies, and move it along. The wall jump didn't see introduction to the series until Super Metroid as well, so that's new to this remake specifically. Going up. Kind of make your own elevator here. She doesn't. She can only speculate and fantasize. And now we know what she fantasizes about. I could head off that way, but we're going to stop off at a save point first because I know what's down there. Aww. This is what I get for just damage sponging. That's okay. Let's go grab some goodies. Whee! That's what we're looking for. All right, wave beam. Got ourselves our very first beam upgrade or weapon upgrade here. So this actually is a fairly drastic departure from the original. Originally, yes, wave high. Wave high with my gun to your face. Originally, the first beam power that you're going to get was actually the ice beam. Keep it up, Adele. Remember, I have the ability to make your life a living hell. And I'm just enough of an asshole that I might enjoy doing it. Boom. Catch that one on the way back. There we go. Kill some stuff. Alright, and somewhere along the way we got our high jump boots, and I don't remember getting it, I just did it apparently. Go figure. But our high jump boots are going to let us jump extra high. There we go. I could have spider balled over it, but I was feeling lazy. This is by no means a speed run. This is just a leisure run because I like playing the game. Alright, so we've cleared this out. Let's get the hell out of here and back somewhere interesting. Water jets away! Woo! And up we go. Alright, so we got a little friend in here. He's just waiting to come out and play with us. There we go. All right. Let's go play on top of the building. I am awake. It's not like it's 1:30 in the morning or anything. Alright, so this was actually about the only real mini-boss in the original game. And here, this boss fight is actually drastically different. Alright, so now we've pissed him off. Our goal is to bomb him up into the electrified spikes. Just keep missiling him until suddenly your missiles start bouncing off of him, and then he starts going roly-poly. There we go. One more. And there it is. All right. Bombs away. Give him a lift. That'll do. Now, in the original, this fight was actually totally optional because the power-up or the ability that you got from was totally optional as well. Yes, it is 1:30, Adele. So the ability that we got is the spring ball, which lets us actually jump directly in morph ball form. in conjunction with the ability to spider ball midair. That is super helpful in terms of navigating stuff. So, you know what? We just hit a save point here. So, I'm going to pause for just a few minutes here, and we'll be right back. Give me about 10 minutes, and we'll pick this up right where we left off. All right. Hey, there's a new person in the chat. How's it hanging? All right, so let's jump back in here. We're gonna go ahead and head on up. And then back down. Pick him up so we can kill him. And back up the side. Go pick up some goodies. There's the missile tank we saw from the other side of the room. And that's the way we came in, so now we're just going to cut straight through. Nope, that'd be me. No, but you can catch Kathy playing The Witness with us tomorrow on stream for The Dumb Leading the Blind. Catch the whole gang when we record our podcast and live stream it on Wednesday nights as well. This is actually just an off-the-cuff evening. Wasn't anything scheduled. I just kind of got a bug up my ass and decided I was going to jump on and play some video games. You can be terrible within reason. The DSL comment was pushing it. I'll explain later. So is this game Nintendo? That's a great question, actually. Sort of. Yes, I will. So this is a unofficial remake of Metroid 2 from the original Game Boy. This actually came out a year before Samus Returns on the 3DS was officially announced and then subsequently released. But is this official? No. This was done by Milton Gousty and his crew. They did a spectacular job. This was a labor of love for Milton for about 10 years. They poured heart and soul into this and put it out free of charge. And within a week, there was a cease and desist issued. It's still out there if you know the right corners of the internet to go looking in. But no, this is not officially Nintendo. Yes, the music in here is just spectacular as well. This is a more nowadays game than you think. This is only a couple years old. There we go. So, neat little detail here. Notice the legs on this alpha are actually a little more developed and they're a little bit longer. He's a little further along in his evolution cycle, but still an alpha. That being said, he's going to take a few more hits to off. Oh, bugger me. This game was never actually sold. Again, this was a non-licensed, unofficial remake. It was distributed free of charge online. And again, if you do a little digging around, you can find it still. Even though officially Nintendo did order and issue a cease and desist. But it is still around the corners of the internet for those that know where to look. But no, it was never sold. This was a labor of love for Milton and his crew. They toiled for 10 years in their spare time putting all this together. So that reminds me here, little minutia change between AM2R and the Game Boy original is that when you got in proximity of one of the Metroids to engage the fight, the music would start, and wherever you were, the whole game would freeze for just a second. So I mean, if like right there, as I was falling, I would have sat midair for a moment while the initial fight music engaged, and then the Metroid would have gone active and combat would have started. Here, not so much the case. It's just ready, set, go. I have the soundtrack. Remind me to get it to you. Oh, he did not drop down the way I wanted him to. There's where I wanted him. Ah! No, it's my game. I do what I want. Alright, come here, you. Stop dodging. That's something, too, is that these guys were not nearly as quick and agile in the Game Boy original. They were definitely much more sluggish and had a way bigger, way more exposed hitbox. Excuse me. Back down. Oh, stop it. There we go. That's enough. Alright, we got one more of these adorable little guys lingering around to clear out. And there he is. And he's mutated. So here's our first go-round with the next stage in their life cycle. We have here a Gamma Metroid. You can see now why the legs on the last guy were getting a little bit longer. His legs here is now stretched out and down. You play into it a little more if you get yourself in the wrong spot. One of the new things that the Gammas can do, and it's actually new specifically to AM2R, was not in the original, is the Gammas can actually pick you up and basically immobilize and electric shock you and drop your ass on the ground. There we go. All right, and Hydro Station is clear. Means let's get out of here. Energy tank. Tucked away in the weeds. All right, let's go pick up some extra goodies. There we go. Nice. All right. We got widescreen. Was my idea in the right general direction there, Kathy? All right. Now, if I'd really been thinking about it, I would have stopped off here first. This would have made things a little easier because here we have the Varia suit. So, little piece of history for you here. The now iconic shoulder buffs on Samus's armor there, that was introduced in the original Metroid 2. It's actually written in the manual that they house cooling units. But it was done because in order to really display and show the differential between, yes, I know the letters are goofy, to show the difference between the standard power suit and the Varia suit upgrade, because they didn't have the color or the palette swap in order to do that on the Game Boy because it was black and white. So they, in order to give a visual representation of something a little meatier with a little more armor to it, they added the shoulder buffs. Yeah, if you want to get real technical about it, yes. All right, so I'm thinking we're going to make it down the hall a little bit and just into the beginning of the next area, and we'll find ourselves a save station and probably cut it for the night there. All right, so this is a big one here because you can see we've got 10 Metroids to pick off in this area. So yeah, I'm feeling this is a solid place to cut it tonight because it is 2 in the morning, and I really don't want to dig into the area partway and then stop. And if this is the one that I think it is off the top of my noggin, it gets particularly convoluted. So it's one that it would be better played, honestly, if I am fresh-faced in the morning. So, yeah, let's call it at this save point here. We'll call it a night, and we'll pick this up again soon. Again, thank you to anybody and everybody that stopped by and hung out and chatted with us tonight. You you should definitely be back tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern. Kathy and I will be on for the dumb leading the blind, the witness, and we'll see how far she gets. Maybe she makes it through the mountain finally. And then definitely come back on Wednesday night where we stream our live recording of World 1-1 podcast, and we'll go from there. So, with that said, everybody have a good night. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out, and I will catch you later. Peace.